Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Xbox On. Now, for the past few days, I've been getting stuck in with Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is an absolute mammoth of a game with a huge game world. So big that it can be quite intimidating to start with. So that's why I've put together some tips about how you can get a better head start in the game. I'm going to talk about some useful tactics and most importantly, the skills you need early on. Everything I mention here can be done in the first region and makes playing in single player a lot more fun. So here we go. Before we dig into the specifics of being a ghost, let's get down to the basics of skill development. The skill tree in Wildlands is dictated by two elements: skill points earned by leveling up or found around the map, and resources which you collect by tagging supplies when you find them in the world. Every upgrade calls for a mix of the two. The quickest way to start boosting skill points is to find skill medals hidden in the map. The map is pretty big, so you can speed up the process by finding intel around the world. Just look for the circle with an exclamation point in it, and when you collect the intel, you are given a choice of elements you can uncover on the map. Select locate skill points, and all available pickups in the region then appear. If you want to be a little bit cheeky, you could just look at our map and get a head start. Resources, on the other hand, can be found in just about any settlement. If there is a question mark on the map, you can be sure the location has at least one barrel of gasoline or crate of first aid to extract. Once you've killed all the enemies in any given location, it's important to spend time clearing out any resources. To drastically speed the process up, when you find a piece of intel, you can select locate supply raids, which reveals side missions that reward thousands of resources at once. It's worth doing this in region 1, where enemies are pretty soft, to help you get a head start before you head out into the rest of the world. Before we talk more about what skills to buy, let's talk about combat basics. Wildlands may look like a cover shooter, but it's actually a tactical shooter, so don't play by the same arcade rules as things like Gears of War. When you crouch behind cover, you do not lock to it, and it is possible for enemies to see you at close range and shoot you in the head. When things are kicking off, it's worth going prone behind cover and crawling to safety. It may sound cowardly, but we also like to draw fire away from ourselves by ordering the AI ghost to open fire. As guards deal with them, you can reposition yourself somewhere else. You're also going to want to enter enemy territory with a good range of weapons. We like to carry an assault rifle for when it all kicks off, a sniper rifle for long range infiltration, and a silenced pistol for close range sneaking. You were given the assault rifle and pistol from the very start of the game, and you will find a sniper rifle in the weapon crate where the first mission ends. Pick it up and make sure to equip it. The final thing to watch out for is the minimap. If you mark enemies with a drone or the binoculars, they become red dots on the map, making them easier to track. You'll also notice areas that glow orange and purple. This tells you that there is an enemy presence there, and if you have failed to mark all the enemies, you can use this glow to work out rough enemy locations and take a defensive position. It's also a great way to see if there are any stragglers hiding around. If the glow vanishes, then all the enemies are gone, and it's time to put your feet up. While watching the orange glow is useful, it's far better to have the area properly mapped by a drone. So the first skill you should upgrade is the range and battery life of your drone. To begin with, its range is nowhere near good enough to advance into larger bases without losing connection. It's a really important piece of kit if you want to play stealthy, so spend those points on upgrading that drone. Using the drone is simple. When you approach a new area, go behind a sturdy piece of cover and send in the drone by pressing up on the D-pad. The drone will mark any enemy that you pass its aiming circle over, and once you have the skill points and resources, you should definitely purchase night vision, as it makes the drone far more useful around the clock. Once you've upgraded the drone, the next power to upgrade is the extra sync shot. This works a lot like Splinter Cell's incredible mark and execute power. It lets your AI buddies mark the goons and then shoot them on your say-so. To mark an enemy, you need to aim at them either with a gun, binoculars, or the drone and press A. To begin with, you can only mark one enemy. Upgrade the skill twice and you can mark up to 3. In these earlier regions, enemies rarely gather in groups larger than that, so you'll be able to wipe out entire patrols without ever firing your own weapon. For the best results, however, target them using the drone, as it gives you a better perspective on which guards can see each other, and then the sync shot takes 30 seconds to recharge. So if you're willing to wait patiently, you can take out an entire base with sync shots alone. It may feel a little bit cheap, but it gets the job done. If you'd rather do your own shooting, and we imagine you will, the next skill you should unlock is thermal vision. This adds an extra infrared vision mode on top of the night vision that you are given at the start of the game. You access night vision by tapping right on the D-pad, and while it makes nighttime infiltration much easier, it can be very hard to tell fuzzy green enemies from their fuzzy green surroundings. With thermal vision, however, you always know if you're looking at an enemy's body or not, and it makes headshots really easy to pull off. Just look for the tiny red lump on top of the bigger red lump, and you are just one bullet away from lovely success. It works just as well during the day and is particularly handy for picking out snipers inside their dark watchtowers. Just be careful to switch out of infrared if the soldiers start throwing grenades at you. It washes out the screen and makes it very hard to tell anything apart. Now, I know the ghosts are all about getting in and out without anyone noticing, but sometimes you just want to go loud. The game isn't very forgiving if you play it as run and gun action. You'll be shot to tiny pieces in seconds. If, however, you steal an armoured enemy vehicle, you can have some amazing fun. These trucks with mounted turrets are stupidly overpowered. Not only do they soak up bullets, but the turret on top is so quick to chew things up that enemies don't have a chance to shoot many of them back at you. In Region 1, you can find one at this map location. To maximize its lethality, when you get to a base, begin to drive in very slowly. This gives the gunner the opportunity to target any enemy that pops into his eye line, thinning the defending force one by one. Drive in too fast and you'll be contending with enemies from multiple directions, and they will make swift work of you. With this technique, however, it's possible to clear out sizable bases without ever leaving the driver's seat. The last thing that you have to take care of in the first region is unlocking the Rebel Ops. These side missions unlock Rebel support, which makes life much easier as you go along. As with everything else in Wildlands, you add Rebel Ops to the map by using intel. Just select Locate Rebel Ops, and the 3 missions available in the opening region unlock 3 of the abilities: Rebel Diversion, Vehicle Drop-Off, and Mortar. It's the last 2 that make the difference. Vehicle Drop-Off brings a car to your location, very handy when you die and the game spawns you in the middle of nowhere with no car to get home. Just select the option from the Rebel Support menu on the right bumper and you are good to go. And the Mortar does exactly what you would imagine. It rains down explosives on wherever your aiming reticle is pointing when you select the ability. Due to the close grouping of the explosives, however, it's best to use it on clusters of soldiers or any vehicles that could become a problem in a bigger firefight. More powers unlock in other regions, but these are the 2 you really want from the start. There you have it, guys, our 7 tips to help you get ahead in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Obviously, it's a massive game with loads of different approaches to every situation, so why not share your own killer tactics in the comments below? And if you found this video useful, why not give it a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!